Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man who still needs to control when he hulks out.
And sometimes Natasha would tell me a lullaby.
All right. By listening to that, I think you all can guess what we're going to be talking about today. We're just going to be talking about She-Hulk, first episode. I want to get Rogue Gambit's here.
My opinion.
Thoughts, opinions,
All right.
hatreds towards it.
I enjoyed the episode quite a bit.
You enjoyed the episode, man?
I enjoyed it.
But the way you were sighing, I was like,
Like it definitely has its issues.
yeah.
But all in all, like I don't think it was great by any stretch, but it was just really enjoyable to watch.
Okay.
Don't know if I'd watch it again, but you know.
Okay.
about you?
How would you rate it on the first episode for every Marvel show?
On the first episode, like it feels like based on like just this episode, it seems like each episode is gonna be pretty standalone.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily feel like it's telling a story. Like there's probably going to be like an overarching story, right? But and in that aspect, it's kind of different. It feels like than a lot of the other first episodes.
Well, yeah, she was talking to us.
Right. But I don't think that it was bad. Like I'd say it's middle of the road. Like it's nowhere near as good as WandaVision's first episode.
Of course.
It's not as good as Falcon Winter Soldier's first episode.
Okay.
That's probably like better than the rest.
All right. I can take that. Okay. Well, I thought it was not too terrible, but still pretty terrible. I don't know. Just I don't think I was a big fan of like how many times she transformed in that episode. But I don't know how her type of thing works.
So like they did go off the comics well in the fact that like she does have, you know, so much more control of her ability to transform. She's more she has, you know, is just Jennifer Walters even when she's She-Hulk for the most part. And I think they'll get into this later in the episode where she can. So like the difference is like she doesn't full Hulk out basically.
Yeah.
She, you know, has this like middle ground where she is Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk.
Kind of like Smart Hulk.
Kind of like Smart Hulk, yeah. But she can fully Hulk out, and she has less control, but still has control. And so I'm sure they'll get into that later on, but they did a good job of depicting that. Though they may have, you know, shoved it down our throats a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah, and the one thing I'd say, like, I'm not saying they did poorly, but like, kind of like, they're clearly setting up this Hulk storyline, right, with the Sakaar ship coming and stuff. I talked about it a little bit last week, I think, with Hulk and everything. And I'm guessing that's really not going to show up in the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But that storyline was far more interesting
I absolutely agree.
She-Hulk. And like they even in the way that they like tried to build She-Hulk's character, like they were, you know, talking a lot about Hulk and his struggles, and the way he would talk about Tony Stark and Captain America and like how he idolized these people and wanted to have a normal life like them, and now She-Hulk's getting it. It made me more want to watch what's going on with him.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Like this poor guy, he's not getting any of this. That'd be really cool if you would like see like how he deals with it, especially because like I've talked about how I like the Incredible Hulk movie, and like that part of it is really interesting. How he's trying to live a normal life, and we really haven't got that because of contracts and everything. We finally can, and even though I'm not a big fan of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, I'd still love to see that, and it's like kind of interesting. Like the most interesting part of the episode was not the main character. Though I do think the actress does a good job. I do not like what they're like. I don't like Jennifer Walters. Like she's not funny. She's not.
Yeah. So far, Hulk's been the most
She's like
entertaining.
so over the top.
Yeah.
And but like I think the actress is what they're telling her to do. She's nailing. Like
Yeah.
she's not overacting, but like her character's calling for a little bit of overacting, and she's like just doing it enough that it's not like I hate you, but it's like, ugh, why did they do this with this character? Because like that's one thing in the comics. In the comics, she's a lighthearted individual,
Mm-hmm.
but like not everything's like lighthearted, you know.
Yeah.
And that was kind of frustrating. And I do think like the best scenes with her are with Bruce Banner because like he's kind of the opposite, where it's like everything's serious to him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He can make jokes, but yeah, that was
Okay. One thing I was really expecting was Hulk to like fully go Hulk for a bit in that fight scene that we got between Hulk and She-Hulk.
What did you think of the way she got her powers?
The funny thing is, the instant they crash, I called it. I was like, she cut herself. She's gonna cut herself. She's gonna get some blood in there, and that'd be really dumb.
Yeah.
It happened. Did not like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed so.
It was just a quick way for them to get through that.
And it just seems so like, all right, you got this insanely smart guy, and he's gonna like, and he's safe all the time, right? He never does anything where he can Hulk out. He never does anything where he can put other people at danger. And now he's created this device that keeps him Bruce Banner, but he's still willing to like put himself in a situation where he could, even though he clearly knows he was telling her, get away, I'm bleeding, but he still puts himself in that situation. It's like, what? So incongruent. And then, yeah, just like the fact that a little bit of blood and suddenly and instantaneously she changes. It's like, I guess they tried to a little bit explain it away with like her DNA being like,
yeah.
Which I didn't really like. Had she already been exposed to gamma radiation?
I have no
idea. That's what it sounded like he was saying. But like his blood has insane amounts of gamma radiation, so I didn't know if he was just saying that was what it was. But
yeah,
like by explaining it away, they made a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with all that.
Especially because like they are like in this remote place and they're Hulks and he's worried. Like if that would have happened, like I feel like this would have been a lot better story. Because in the comics, right, someone tries to assassinate her or him and ends up hurting her. So she was going to die, and he was the only one who could give her a blood transfusion.
Yeah,
right. It would make a lot more sense if she was the one who was seriously injured in the car accident. He could still have his blood could have got into her or whatever. So now she's, sick or whatnot from that too.
Yeah.
And so then because, he's worried about her hulking out and stuff, he takes her to this remote place to work on her himself because, that's who he is, trying to keep people safe. And then he feels like the only way to save her is to give her the blood transfusion, and then it heals her because, she's Hulk now. So it saves her, but at the same time. And then that would have been like made their like bickering and struggle so much more real for us because like it was a choice he made that caused her to be this way. And then that would have made a lot more sense for like he felt like he had to protect her, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole time. And like I really like that story, right? Like he's lonely, right? And he wants somebody to be around, and at the same time, he's trying to protect her because she's his little cousin or whatever. But there was not like that connection there that like made us feel like
yeah.
Right? It was just like them telling us that's how it was. And I think they did a good job without like that part they didn't like shove down your throat. They let it kind of develop. But I feel like the backstory I just said would have made it way more apparent.
More interesting. Yeah. It would be good. It would have been a much better story. Like I was thinking about it. It was funny when that ship showed up. I was thinking about it the whole episode. I was like, what was that ship? Where did it come from? And stuff.
I told you last episode.
Well, yes, yes, but it was the one thing that occupied my mind more than really anything else in the episode. As well as Hulk's little story that they have going, his struggle between trying to be normal and all that. Other than that, how'd you feel about She-Hulk, or what's her name? I'm already forgetting her name. Jennifer Walters breaking that fourth wall.
All right, so I'm getting into like kind of the fourth wall breaking and the Easter eggs and stuff. I'd said I think a couple weeks ago that I was not looking forward to the fourth wall breaking. Like, based on the trailer and stuff, I thought there was gonna be a whole lot more of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there could still be a whole lot more because. Right.
But I think they're doing it so far in a way that's just kind of interesting. It might get over the top later on. I don't think it's quite there. Like I said, I don't really like her character, and I feel like the fourth wall breaking could really like fix that for me or just hurt it. I don't know what it's going to do yet. But I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. The one thing, like the Easter eggs to the comics and stuff, I think is one thing that I really, really enjoyed, and to like other parts of the MCU, right? And to like fan theories, which we saw in Ms. Marvel, they did a little bit, and then in the Ant-Man little teaser thing that they put out, they talked about another fan theory, and then in this one, there was the running joke through the whole thing about Steve Rogers that's been like a fan theory the whole time, and so that was really interesting that they're like bringing those in, and I think this is a good show to do that with. So she breaks the fourth wall and stuff, so it's like another way of her doing it without looking at the camera and talking to us. And I definitely enjoyed. I mean, I'm sure I missed a lot, but though that was like a part that I was like, I mean, you saw me a couple times, but oh my goodness, they mentioned that stuff, which I want to hopefully get into it. Maybe an after
sighing, but yeah, I saw it. Breathing heavily.
What about you?
I thought it was okay. It's not. Thankfully, I was fully expecting like a full-on like Deadpool style of breaking the fourth wall. Thankfully, it wasn't that.
Yep.
It was a lot more interesting, as you said. I think I liked it. I haven't watched Deadpool at all. So can't really compare it to anything else.
Right.
So, other than that, the whole comic references and stuff like that, I thought were pretty fun. Even though I've never read like any of the Hulk or She-Hulk or other Hulks. But now I have another question here for you. No, nobody else. There was a name mentioned. I think it was like mentioned by Jennifer, or what's her name?
Yeah, Jennifer.
Uncle, what's his name? Like she's, or maybe even Banner said it.
Oh, right. That was one. I said I want to get that into that later.
Okay.
I want to see if they go anywhere with it. I believe the one reason I wasn't 100% sure what he said, but I believe who he's talking about was Amadeus Choi. I've talked about before. And so
I thought I heard Ned.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see. I want to do a little research and listen to it again, and then
later in the episode,
and then see if the episodes go into other Hulks and other members of her family, at least. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to ask about that. Other than that, who was that person that broke into the courthouse?
Titania.
Okay, that's what I thought. Not how I was expecting her to really look.
I mean, it was very comic book accurate.
Okay.
Well,
I've never
to her later comics.
Really?
Original.
Well, yeah, I've never seen her in the comics. Yeah. Now the next question is why did she come into the courthouse, attacking it?
So her backstory is kind of interesting. I'm sure they'll get into it a little bit, which I mentioned last week that she'd be in, and I was going to talk about her backstory that they did to compare them. So I don't want to go into full detail, but she really doesn't like Jennifer Walters.
All right, cool.
I don't know if they're going to like. I don't know what that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they're going to do her backstory because if they do her backstory like it is in the comics, they'll have to bring some characters in that have very big ties to mutants and stuff. And so I don't think they're going to do that because like they couldn't bring a couple of it. We'll see. We'll just see.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She's definitely hired by like her. What she does is she gets hired by. She's basically a mercenary. So she's somebody. And I don't know if they were. I'm guessing they were coming after whoever they were prosecuting. Probably. I don't think they were coming after She-Hulk or whatnot.
That's what I assumed when she broke in. I assumed she was hired by somebody to come in, or at least she was the one wanting to come take out whoever was being prosecuted. Did we ever get a look at who was being prosecuted?
Not really.
Okay.
I like based on the way that I'm guessing it was the guy sitting. So there's three seats, right? There's the lawyer who's talking to everybody. Then the guy on the far right with the white hair, I think, is another lawyer, and then the guy in the middle would be the defendant. But I could be wrong. I know one of them shows up in a later episode.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's because they were being prosecuted, but they were also kind of like lawyers. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one it is, but
yeah, because maybe we'll get more of this. Whoever's being this person being prosecuted.
It could be the person that's getting prosecuted shows up later, and they were in the government, which would be confusing for what happened in this episode. But it could be.
It would be confusing. Maybe it's our ghostwriter,
Donnie Blaze.
Donnie Blaze, yeah. All right. Well, now I just want to talk about something a little off the whole storyline here, off the story, off the kind of the episode.
Okay.
Not really. Well, it is part of the episode, but it was during that final fight.
Yep.
Was it just me, or was it when She-Hulk threw the table back at Titania? She got like hit by it. It looked like she got hit by it and was under the table, and then all of a sudden it was just coming in that weird, like slow-mo kick, anime kick.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
So Titania breaks through the wall.
Yeah,
we're gonna go this minute by minute. She takes a couple steps. No,
you're saying she was hit by the table.
Yeah, and it just looked like it was just such a fast-paced moment right there that she probably didn't have time to get out from under that table. And
well, I think they probably should have shown that. I think this is where it's coming, and we'll get into CGI here, where like it's a TV show, they don't have the budget to have a bunch of big CGI stuff, and so they probably couldn't show her destroying the table because Titania is insanely strong.
Yeah,
if she gets hit by a table, even if it's thrown by She-Hulk, she's just gonna break the table. Like
it looked like she was knocked over, and
she was knocked over under the table, but like she could just stand. Like it's not like she's having to lift this table off.
I'm just saying, it was very jarring for me to like see that.
Right, and I think that comes to like the fact that they don't have the CGI to show those things. Like the pacing was a little wonky because like they normally would have shown that. And that gets into what I wanted to finish with, and that's CGI. I don't know. At times it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But there are times that it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like Ed said, when I see the trailer, like the Hulk didn't look that bad. Like it was mainly like She-Hulk. And they fixed She-Hulk in a lot of ways. She looked a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But so many things were varied in it. It's like the greenness of her would be light green to like this dark green.
Yeah.
Wide range. And scene to scene, it would change. So obnoxious. The way her face looked.
Yeah.
It would sometimes... And I get, like, it's okay that, like, sometimes she looks more like Jennifer and more like She-Hulk because she's, like, this in-between. But, like, it was ridiculous. Like, from scene to scene, like, if you put them next to each other, you'd be like, is this the same person? Like, and then Hulk, even. There was scenes where his face was just...
I was wondering
so poorly, and I don't know if it's because they could draw from some of the original CGI, and then sometimes they had to like completely do it themselves. But there were times that, like, especially in that basement scene, where like you saw his face and you were like, "Did they finish that CGI all the way?" Like, it looked so just like whitewashed. And then other times it was really, really good. So That the CGI of it all, and like like the way the table flew and stuff, just or the desk. I don't know, just not great.
Yeah, it could have been
I get
better.
that it's a TV show, but like I don't know, be consistent at least, especially with your main character.
Exactly.
Like I would be totally fine if like the face wasn't perfect, with the CGI, like it just looks low budget.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's consistent. But like when her face is changing, and they even try. I think this is one of the reasons they have the main character, and this is where I was saying like the actress does do a good job. Is they had her be very very animated in her face.
Yeah.
And I think that was really smart because like Jennifer's face is so different all the time because of that. Like she always has some emotion on her face that it helped. Then when she's She-Hulk, like her face didn't always look the same because of the CGI. And so I think that kind of helped. And they probably did that on purpose. I don't know if they did. Good job. Like that is a way to like hide it, but at the same time, editing doesn't fix everything.
Yeah. CGI was a big problem as well. So what do we think is going to happen? All right,
so moving forward, I think in the next episode, I think we're going to meet our Matthew Murdock, personally. I think he's going to be a lawyer that's going up. We're going to also meet her. She's going to become like the lawyer of the superheroes, right? Like people are going to know she's She-Hulk. So like this government guy that I was talking about is going to meet with her. I think that's going to be next episode. And moving forward from there, I think there's going to be a lot of things that we've talked about, like in our expectations, like Scovia, of course, could get brought up to all these new superheroes, all these cameos that are going to happen. The Cube, Abomination. I don't know exactly how it's all going to work out, but like, we're going to see lots of cameos, lots
Donnie
of
Blaze.
people. Donnie Blaze.
Don't know if he'll show up in the next episode. But
I don't think he'll be in, like, I don't know. And he'll probably be a couple episodes away.
All right. Anything else for this?
Yeah, actually, it might be Wong, not Matthew Murdock. There's definitely going to be a big cameo in the next one. I think it could be either Wong or Matt Murdock. I think that's all I got for She-Hulk.
All right.
Ready to go into other things? Got any Star Wars news about that?
So, I do actually. First off, I just want to say we are getting closer and closer to the Ahsoka show. Very, very excited for that. Don't know when they plan to release a lot of this stuff. We still actually haven't gotten anything for Tales of the Jedi, which is surprising.
Yeah. Trying to find something where we'll find it.
Like, I really want to get this show going. Like, I want to know I want to know who we're talking about and stuff. But that doesn't mean I was completely in the dark about some information. I did learn that Tales of the Jedi, of course, is going to be a 6-episode long show. Just 6 episodes. 3 episodes for 2 characters. We have 3 episodes for Ahsoka and 3 episodes for Count Dooku.
Okay.
So it's just going to be 2 stories, 3 episodes.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting. And that's what I've learned about Tales of the Jedi. Next thing, I learned that if you all are big fans of Rogue One, it is coming to theaters in the U.S. So if you want to go watch that, do that. I cannot remember the release date of that, but I think it's coming out the same time when Andor is coming out. I don't need you to tell me that. I'm the Star Wars guy. So yeah. Other than that, I do hear reports that it's more like a rumor, but since we're not having an after party this week, I will talk about it.
Talk rumors. I got something to talk about.
We might get the main character of Rogue One showing up in the Andor show, which would make absolutely no sense.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense.
Why?
So this is like before Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
Before Rogue One, she's like running around with that rebel group and stuff.
She was in no rebel group.
I know, whatever that group was. The
guy that raised her. You are absolutely right.
So she has all these adventures.
She does. So I guess, she was technically in a rebel group. Yeah, she was with Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
So even though I really do not like that he's popping up again in this show, he is coming back.
But like, I don't think like she should meet Andor.
I absolutely agree.
I think that her showing up is fine if you see it. In
Maybe even if it's just a small cameo, I'm fine. If they have her in more than this, I'm actually going to be kind of annoyed because we're supposed to be on Andor.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, so we might be getting her back. That's just a rumor I've been hearing. I feel like I didn't talk about this, but maybe I did. Did I talk about how we're not going to be all these like CGI effects stuff? We're going to be like actually at the locations for the shots.
You talked a little bit about it, but
yeah. So
I don't remember for sure.
most of the locations, they're going to be actually.
And they're going to
the planets.
Wow. I've always wanted Star Wars to do that.
No, they're actually going to be. There's going to be like very little CGI. Yeah, they're going to actually have sets. They're going to actually be at locations, and it's going to be
practical effects for the win.
Yeah, there's going to be actually some beautiful practical effects. Like I've already seen some of these shots, and they look amazing. So I'm really excited. Now, see, I'm not a big fan of Andor and Rogue One, but they might do some good stuff with Andor. We might get this hero that's like a kind of a dark hero,
right?
Who which I'm actually really excited for because we've never really had something like that, like a dark hero who's going to be,
anti-hero.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. If they just mess it all up and he's just a hero, he does the good thing and stuff. Doesn't kill, doesn't do what he was supposed to do in Rogue One.
Yep.
I will actually be kind of sad sad because then you just mess up the show at that point.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was an actor who I learned was playing in it, and he showed up in the trailer. I just didn't click for me that it was that actor. I forget who it was, but he was supposed to be playing this local police type of guy.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. Not only that, it'll be interesting to see like actual local police group.
Yeah.
Like we rarely see any of these type of people. We just see the Empire being the police.
Right, and especially like they'd be stuck kind of between the rebels and the Empire, right?
Yeah.
Which would be interesting.
It would be interesting. It does look like at the start we may get like a look at
we did see the sheriff of that one town.
That's true, but he was like, it wasn't like a actual official police group. Like this group looks official. They have uniforms. They actually have like actual police vehicles. It looks like.
Sorry, what did they name that town? What did they change their name to?
Freetown.
Oh
the people of Freetown will be free. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I love that's great. I'm expecting this town to be called No Freetown or something.
No Freedom. Yeah.
Now I do want to talk about a vehicle that will be popping up in the show that I'm really excited for. An LAAT.
Okay.
A landing aerial assault. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it stands for. Not sure. But it's supposed to be like, basically think of a wedge. Okay. Put wings on it. There you go.
Interesting.
That's what it is. It's basically a gunship, but only for the Empire. So we're definitely going to be getting a look at some more Empire stuff. We never really see actually any gunships for the Empire in like the original series, stuff like that. So I'm just thinking like, why would you put this in now? Which, of course, you only got so much you can do in the past, but like, why do you put it in now at this show when we don't see it like for Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Or like Obi-Wan Kenobi, stuff like that. But it's going to be kind of nice to see this type of ship because I actually really like this ship. And we only see it in a very old video game called Force Unleashed. So that's the only time we ever see that type of ship. We might get more stormtroopers, different kind of stormtrooper variants. That'll be kind of interesting to see those type of kind of markings, maybe even some new ones. Don't know. Other than that, shall I talk a little about what I think is going to happen with the clones?
Yeah, go.
So we get one look. The first look we got was just 4 clone troopers, and we're getting a look at the back of a dude with some wrench going up against 4 armed clone troopers with blasters.
Let's go.
Would be a flashback, but then after a while, as they released more and more, we get another shot of clone troopers marching, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of them, like marching down a street. First off, I'm excited to see more live action clone troopers. Second off, why are they there? What are they doing? Is this going to be a time of clone troopers and stormtroopers? Is this going to be a time of when the clone trooper rebellion ended, or maybe before it happened, or what is going on? Maybe just some more flashbacks that we're going to be seeing. I don't know. Because, well, here's the thing. So here's another theory. I'm going so into this. I'm so sorry. So we know that, or at least I believe, if I'm correct on this, I could be wrong. You guys can tell me in the comments and stuff. Andor and what's her name in Rogue One were kind of the same age. Maybe Andor was a little bit older. So when they were young, the Empire was still active.
Okay.
So, which has me very confused. So if Andor's older, I feel like the clones at that time when Andor and her were older, there were like no clones. They would have been all out of service, I'll say, and stuff like that. And of course, we see in like Obi-Wan Kenobi, there were like barely any clones. Like there was only one clone that we saw, but he was, on the streets.
Yeah.
So why do we get a look at these clones in this type of show when it's possibly right before the events of Rogue One? I'm very confused about that. Like,
yeah.
Why would they decide to bring the clones in now when? Yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts. Yeah. Moving on from that. Last thing I'm going to talk about, Bad Batch Season 2 is going to be released. We did get a clip, and I did watch that, because I honestly don't really care if they spoil anything for me for Bad Batch Season 2.
Yep.
But it does bring some hope for me for the show. Like, they could actually be good. We get a look at Omega. She's older. Not too much older, but she is older. And I think I'm actually going to like her as being older. And of course, around this time, it looks like they would have gotten like an actual system going, doing jobs, to get credits and all that stuff, giving Omega like a schooling, basically. But it looks like she's going to be this basically rebellious teenager in the show. That's kind of what she was in this clip. She just left the ship when she was told not to, and then just takes out all the enemies outside the ship. It was so funny. Other than that, I still think a lot of the Bad Batch, though, are going to be kind of the same as they were in the first season. Mm-hmm. Like Wrecker. That's all I got for Bad Batch Season 2.
Okay. When's the release date now for Andor?
The end of this month, I think.
Oh, so still the 31st?
Yeah. Or unless...
I think that's right. That's what you said a couple
Yeah, maybe. I could be wrong. They could have moved it back to September. Let's double check that.
Yeah, September 21st.
That's what it was. All right. Yeah, so they moved it back to September 21st, so it is going to be a while.
We're going to have to figure out what we're doing next week.
Yeah, so...
Since it's supposed to be getting ready for Andor.
Yeah.
All right. So Marvel, not really anything announced. As we know, D23 is now exactly 3 weeks away.
Yeah, this is exciting.
So pretty excited for that. We'll be talking in a couple weeks about what our expectations for that is. But because of that, we haven't got too many announcements. But there are a lot of rumors going around, so I'll get into some of those. We'll start with the most far-fetched one. As I said a couple weeks, or maybe last week, there's a rumor that Henry Cavill might be joining the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the rumor is that he might be Hyperion, which I think is a way better fit for him. I think I even said I was thinking he would make a good sentry. I don't remember if I said that in the episode, but that's what I'm thinking is he'd make a really good sentry. Who's very similar to Superman. Well, Hyperion is even closer to Superman. So I think the one I don't know if I like it, but the one thing I do like about it is it'd be a pretty big flex by Marvel to take DC Superman actor and make him their Superman actor. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, like I said, I think he's a really, really good actor. Would be so excited for him to play in the MCU. Getting him the right role, that could be a little harder just because he's so like typecast already.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him outside that role, but not Reed Richards, like I said. I do think Hyperion's a good role for him. We can get if once it gets confirmed or whatever, we can get into who Hyperion is and what I like about it, what I don't. But for now, that's a rumor. Other rumors, unless you have something to say about that.
Oh, just just kind of funny how you are getting so excited that he might be playing.
That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. Like, yeah, DC, you're trying, but hey, we got Superman.
I just imagine a commercial coming out for something, and it's Henry Cavill. It's DC Superman, and then Marvel.
Were you disappointed in the way they wrapped up Superman's story? Well, let's continue in Marvel and Hyperion. All right.
Have it in the Marvel universe, just a small TV. We're just watching the TV. They have that commercial.
We got another clip for Loki from Loki season 2.
Oh,
just a little short guy, a little behind the scenes action.
Wait, there's an actual short guy.
Yes, as a matter of fact, yes. What's his name?
I have no idea.
The guy who plays Morbius. Morbius.
Oh, he's coming.
What's his name?
Who are you talking?
In Loki, the TVA guy.
Oh, the main TVA guy.
Yeah, Morbius.
Morbius is.
I know who Morbius is. Is it Morpheus?
I think it's Morpheus, but I don't know.
Anyways.
But, yeah, we
Anyways, he's short. That's all I'm saying. So we got another shot, when it was just like Tom Hiddleston's Loki fighting somebody that wasn't there. Like it's gonna be a CGI character, so you just see him punching air.
Oh my goodness, he's fighting air.
Who that's going to be, we don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be, I don't remember if I talked about the whole theory about, so there's this character who's like a serial killer in the comics, and he can he's dead, so he can possess people and then start killing people, and that's what he keeps doing is they keep exorcising him out of people, but then he finds someone else. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And there's this story where there's this guy who's playing and doing a stage play where he's playing that character, the serial killer from real life, and then the serial killer possesses the actor who's playing him and goes on this killing spree, and then Thor's the one who ends up having to stop him.
Okay.
So in the first shot we saw of Loki season 2, he's going to the premiere of that movie of that guy who plays that character. So I'm guessing what's going to happen is Loki's going to be the one who has to fight the serial killer guy who's possessing the actor who's playing the serial killer.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that's going to create some sort of, paradox or whatever where the TVA has to step in.
All right.
So yeah, we didn't really see anyone else. We haven't really seen, like I said before, we've only seen one shot of Sylvie. Haven't really seen anybody else. There is a rumor that there's going to be another villain that's Kang's not going to be the main villain of this season.
Well, it would kind of make sense because he's going to be kind of fighting who and who.
Well, yes, he is. We are getting into where he's fighting Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I'm saying there are a lot of variants. We don't know what variant they'll be fighting. If it's
that's true.
And we don't know what variant now is ruling the TVA. If that's King the Conqueror, we don't know which one's which. So he could be fighting, totally different. I do like the idea of them not having like all these variants of Kangs being the main villain of every, like it would be like, okay, you're just rehashing the same villain, right?
Yeah.
So I do like that they're going to be kind of having him in the background, like Thanos was, but a little more in the foreground than he was, right?
Well,
he's gonna be the main villain of movies before he comes, but yeah, we'll get into who might be the villains of that later. We're still, I mean, that's probably not. We don't know the exact release date, but late March, early April, probably. We'll get into that when we get closer.
I do have a quick question though.
Okay.
Loki, is he coming back at all? Do you think?
What do you mean?
Like coming out of the TVA? Like, is he coming back to Earth? Even though he's gone to Earth like multiple times, but you know what I mean.
Is he going to be in our universe?
Yeah.
And is it gonna? So like the Loki from Earth 616 is dead.
Yeah.
But now the variant of Loki that is from Earth 616 that is supposed to be dead but isn't dead, that now has, but him being alive has now created another universe, so it's no longer Earth 616.
Yeah.
But that's why he's a variant. That's why he has to be
taken out
because he doesn't exist in any universe.
Yeah.
Except this universe that doesn't exist. So, will he ever come back to Earth 616 and be like a part of the Avengers or fighting the Avengers or anything like that? The way that this could happen in Secret Wars, we know that Avengers Secret Wars is coming now in the King Dynasty. In that's going to be merging a lot of universes and bringing people in from all these different universes. Now, he could be seen, I'm guessing in that he will, meet our Thor, right? Mm-hmm. And be like, Thor's going to be like, oh my goodness, you're alive. He's like,
you tricked me again.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not who you think I am, And that's probably going to happen. I don't think he's going to be like a mainstay. I think he might get one more season of his show, but then he's, Tom Hiddleston's been around for 10 years now playing Loki, right?
Yeah.
He's probably coming to the end of him. I mean, he loves playing Loki, so maybe he'll stick around longer than that, but I mean, they seem like they're going towards Young Avengers and stuff, and there's a young Loki, and so I guess they'll probably end up doing that storyline and him dying. That's a really good storyline. A two Loki storyline, that'd be so fun for them to do, and then him to die off and young Loki to come. But I don't know.
All right. So possibly his final pop-up would probably be in Secret Wars? Are you saying? Or maybe...
No, I think there would be a season 3 after that.
Okay. All right, well, then that's all I wanted to know. I was so confused. I was a little curious about that because, we have Loki who left us.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, but yeah. Okay. Anything else?
There apparently was something about the Madam Web movie that came out. I'm confused on because as far as I understood this, I haven't looked into the Sony timeline very recently, but as far as I knew, Kraven was the next movie coming out, and that's coming out this next year. But that got moved back because Morbius sucked. So they re-released it. And then I thought Madam Web was coming out in 2024. So I was really confused. That was last night, so I haven't been able to look into that rumor too much. So I'll have more about that next week. I'll hopefully have actually seen what's going on with that. But that's interesting going into the Sony universe. It seems like they're definitely pushing for a Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
All right.
It seems like Tobey Maguire's not as likely to happen another Spider-Man full movie, but I'm 100% sure he will be in things like Secret Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
And if he had something it would be down the road quite a ways. If he comes back in Secret Wars and people are still oh my goodness, we needed Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 movie. Sam Raimi has said he wants to do it. Tobey Maguire said he was willing to do it. I think it would have to very much fit with Kevin Feige's plan, and so I think in that he would have to wrap up the story that could be a really fun way to introduce some other Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, continue.
Speaking on Spider-Man, I want to do a full, kind of. All right, we'll restart this. So, speaking of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man remastered video game came out on PC finally, and I've got to play it. Maybe a little too much.
Every time you're on Spider-Man.
I mean, it is one of the greatest games. We've talked about this, but I do want to talk more once I finish it. I want to talk about the differences between the remastered and the original because I will have then played. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Get it? It's amazing. Highly recommend it. Oh my goodness. I forget how much I love PC gaming until I game on a PC game that I had already gamed on a console. It's like, oh my goodness, why would anybody ever not use a PC?
I know
But yeah, fantastic. Have had so much fun. So excited for the next one. Hopefully coming out next year. All right. Anyways, what were you saying?
I think I forgot.
Okay. Well, Sony, that does it for Sony. Spider-Man, let's see. Wakanda Forever. Oh, so with Wakanda Forever, they released some toys that come along with it. There's this pop figure that is Shuri Black Panther. I don't think that confirms that she's going to be the next Black Panther, but I think that does 100% confirm that she's going to attempt at least to be Black Panther and be Black Panther for at least part of Wakanda Forever. I personally, like I said, I think she is going to be the next Black Panther. I don't think she's going to be the next ruler of Wakanda, but I do think she's going to be the next Black Panther, and I think that somewhat confirms it. People have rumored that there's going to be like maybe two, like Okoye's also going to be Black Panther, or Nakia is also going to be Black Panther. I don't know. I could also see M'Baku, like if he's like, I need to protect Wakanda, right? I could see him being Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
But as we get closer, we'll get into more details about who I think, and because there's a lot of Anyways, there's a lot of backstory in the comics about that, so we can get into that later.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another. There also Marvel Entertainment's YouTube channel released a video, giving Namor's backstory, and they were very, very direct about pointing out that he is the first mutant. Now, when they do those things, they are very much basing him off the comics, but the fact that they blatantly pointed out and it was in the title, I think that in the movie he is going to be called the first mutant, or a mutant.
Oh, sorry.
So
I'm really excited.
I talked about that. I thought that was going to happen, and now I'm 100% sure he will be a mutant.
Oh, now this is exciting. Now I'm really excited for Wakanda Forever. I just want to say real fast, I'm just excited for this because we're gonna get two new heroes. We're gonna have two major countries fight.
Yep.
And I'm really hoping they don't mess this up. Sorry, continue. I went a little
that
nerd.
kind of does it. We're running low on time, so I'll just wrapped up a couple things here. So that we haven't got anything for Ant-Man and the Wasp new that I've seen, and nothing about Werewolf.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure, and it's very frustrating.
Because I really want to see it.
Yeah. Anyways, D23 coming soon. That should give us a bunch of stuff.
Watch them not give us Werewolf by Night.
I mean, if they don't, that means it got moved back, but they haven't told us. I don't know if that means they don't know when it's coming or what. But anyways.
Or they just flat out just gave up.
Yeah, but they still say that. I don't know.
They don't want to say it. They're just no.
I feel like there was something DC related though. This is something I also will talk about hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I've been watching the Sandman show.
Is that DC related?
Yeah. It's a DC graphic novel that's based on.
Okay.
I'll talk about that probably in a couple weeks. Give a little review.
Then I should probably watch it. Okay, then I won't.
You can watch it if you want. I don't think you'll like it at all.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think that does it for back and forth. You got any? You gonna be streaming next week?
Yeah, I'm going to be streaming next week. Not streaming on Thursday. If
Right,
you
we're
guys
gonna
are
be
all,
releasing our main episodes on Thursday now.
yeah, we're going to be streaming on Mondays now.
Okay.
So keep your eyes open for that. I don't know if I'll be able to stream Monday, but I will definitely try my hardest to get it because I'm leaving, coming back Monday. So I don't know when I'm getting back. So We'll have to see. I assume I'll be back in time and I'll be able to stream. I don't know.
Alrighty. And then we will. I guess what we're doing next week will be a surprise to you. We do know we'll be talking about episode 2 of She-Hulk. Not sure what else we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We were planning to do Andor, but now that it got moved back,
yeah, I'm so mad.
we're not sure. But we'll have something fun to talk about, and we'll see y'all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.